$25 million US foreign direct investment within the next.
Public presentation of a book titled Investment Opportunities for Job Creation and another on entrepreneurship development in Nigeria.
In Nigeria's quest for development, for industrialization, because people should actually leverage on this book, which is actually reader friendly, to be able to see huge array of opportunities.
And you can see there are a lot to be gained from Firo, and also to establish all sorts of industries, and also to give Firo enough funds present in all parts of Nigeria, so that they will know what is available in this country.
The theme of the investment week is sustainable job creation. NTA News.
Disaster is a common occurrence around the world, regardless of its form and nature. Statistics show that majority of disasters are caused by man's carelessness. However, when they occur, managing them have more often than not been inadequate, a situation that increases the extent of damage. What measures can be taken to avert disasters?
Please put off every appliances in your home. Building collapse, bad engineering and all that stuff.
Okay, you have a car extinguisher.
You don't have to carry a fire extinguisher in your car.
In the home, in your house?
In the house, yeah, in the house we have. In the car we don't. The fire outbreak, I think technology has made everything possible for. There's a particular thing that you put in the house whereby when you begin to perceive kind of smoke, it might cause, but I think every home should be able to fix this. And in terms of any other, there's always a precaution.
Yesterday, October 15th, was World Disaster Reduction Day, a day set aside by the United Nations to plan and understand the causes and risks of disasters across the world. To talk about disaster management in Nigeria, we have in the studio this year's theme focuses on a vulnerable group, old people in Nigeria, towards this dependent group, especially when there is disaster like fire.
A reduction plan. The incorporation of a situation we tend to, as you have just spoken, it's not well captured there, but nevertheless, each emergency response in their tutorial training have incorporated those vulnerable are rescued and then taken to a safer area in the process. And this, I think, in the fire particularly, we've been orientated in our training school to ensure that those who are infirm, that is disabled ones, in the foremost emergency situation, the foremost thing is to effect a rescue. And what that means is that you have to rescue both alive and dead, taken to nearby hospitals, for them to be, taken adequate care of. In that light, you could see that we are already trained. You're talking of accident, disaster, train disaster, flood, and the rest of them. We are always there to ensure that we effect a rescue. If it is the fire does not spread to adjoining properties. These are the things we do in the process.
All right. Do you agree that children are considered more helpless?
Yes, children are considered more helpless in the sense that they do not even know how to identify escape and exit point in the process. And most women who takes care of them, they are equally vulnerable. And in the process, they always tend to look onto these children. Nigeria is built over and above infrastructure that has already been designed. And of course, the blockages of our drainages should be stopped. You should not, venture, of course, endangering the course of, rivers and the rest of them. Because when you do, they will later turn up to ensure that they find their level. In the process, that is when you have floods.
Nigeria's Super Eagles will lock horns with Sudan tomorrow in the match that will decide whether or not the Nigerian team will feature in the African Cup of Nations Championship next year. Details after the break.
Feel the power of world-class Indian movies. Feel the power of world-class action movies. Feel the power of world-class cartoons. Feel the power of world-class.
People are into that business and it's giving them money.
what will happen to the show store, so we no go chop pomo again. We don't have money, so we buy what our money reach.
The traders too are alarmed that a simple commodity they have retailed for years is suddenly a subject of international trade hypothesis.
People that are selling talk 10 naira, 20 naira, they all made that one, they are not happy with that because they are using this one for their own daily business.
Very poor man, I come on we eat with fish. We should carry go, now be our food. When I no buy pomo, we no get money to buy food chicken, no. I beg.
If indeed pomo gets taken out of the open market for a greater good, everyone may have to adjust, says the financial analyst.
If you go to a country like Singapore, they don't eat chewing gum in Singapore. So if citizens of other country move to Singapore, they find out the economy is chewing gum. There are locations today you don't smoke, you can't smoke openly in Lagos, and people who smoke may have remember it. The fact is that any consumption that has no nutritional value is at best warming your evening to warm your teeth, your mouth.
Pomo addicts, it is time to eat all the pomo inside, as it may very well be your last piece. You never know.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria go into the return leg of their Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Sudan with their chances of qualification hanging in the balance. The match, which comes up in Abuja on Wednesday, football followers say is a must-win for Nigeria. Here's a look at how the national side performed in the first leg and what fans expect from the team.
African champions Nigeria's Super Eagles made their chances of qualifying for Morocco 2015 African Cup of Nations very slim with a shocking 1-0 loss to the Falcons of Sudan in Khartoum.
Up to the Super Eagles to keep them quiet, something Bafana were able to do in their encounter. That looks a good ball in behind enemy lines here. Good numbers in the men in white inside their box. The shot it and off of the woodwork, gets another chance. Appealing for a bit of an offside thing are the Sudanese defenders, but in the end corner it will be to Nigeria. An interesting ball out to their far side from Onazi. Nigeria again with good numbers on the attack and well in what looked an impossible angle. Enemy isolated for the time being. Men in white beginning to arrive in and around that box. Now ball in, far posts! Shot right of the mark. It was from John Mikel Obi. Scored a handful of goals for a country from a Nigerian point of view. Equatorial Guinea and Gabon were the joint hosts of the African Cup of Nations. Sudan now with a great ball in, great chance, and a great goal. Beautifully done then by Bakri Abd Al-Qadir. He's been the most threatening player going forward for Sudan. Well, out in the stands, they've certainly been behind this home side. They've been encouraged with the positive play they've seen from time to time. They'll be above the moon to see Sudan open the scoring here against Nigeria after lovely work on the near side with the ball played in. John Mikel Obi looking for quality in the ball in numbers towards that far post. In fact, it's from the training grounds and everything worked out quite well. Forgotten all about their first win of this qualifying campaign. They're looking to avoid another loss. Good ball that is, but the flag has gone up on this near side. It won't count for Nigeria. Lost out. Determined play from the Nigerians. Now looking to set it up. John Mikel Obi with the shot from range. Right of the mark. Over 200 appearances out of Chelsea. Just the one goal if memory serves me right.
To end the news, highlights once again. President Goodluck Jonathan has asked the Federal Institute of Industrial Research, FIRO, to assist small and medium enterprises in raw material production. President Goodluck Jonathan was represented by Vice President Namadi Sambo. Protecting vulnerable old people was the focus of this year's World Disaster Reduction Day. And sports watchers have expressed optimism that Nigeria will secure a win in tomorrow's match. And that wraps it up on NTA2 News at 7 this evening. More stories to come at 9. My name is Elizabeth Omori.